Dave, is it your connection that is on or you are connected to the hotspot? Your connection. And it's still very weak. Good evening, guys. Good evening. Can you hear me? Evening, guys. How was your day? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? If you can hear me, please drop a comment. I want to be sure you all can hear me loud and clear. How was your day? Confirm you can hear me loud and clear. Suppose I'm not the only one saying what is happening in the market. And see what's happening in the market. Please drop a comment. I want to be sure you all can hear me loud and clear. How was your day? Confirm you can hear me loud and clear. Can you guys see what's happening in the market? Can you see the volatility? Can you see the volatility in the market? Few minutes, guys. I'm trying to fix my sound. Few minutes. How is the sound? Please confirm at me. That is the sound. Hello. Please confirm the sound is okay now. Please confirm the sound is okay. I hope you all see what's happening in the market. You can see the volatility. And I think it's due to Trump's speech. What is he looking for? How was your day? How was your day? Please let me know. I would like to know how was your day. I hope it was profitable. I hope this speech didn't hurt your account. I hope it didn't hurt your account. How many of you made money on this move? How many of you were lucky? If you made money, you were lucky. How is the sound now? I think it's okay now, Mr. Joseph. I think it's okay now, right? Is it okay now? Please confirm the sound is okay now. Mr. Gbadamosi, good evening. Please, others should confirm. How is the sound? How is the sound? All right, thank you, Mr. Gbadamosi. Okay, all right, thank you, thank you. So, the volatility we saw in the market let's say an hour ago, is due to Trump's speech, which was released, I think, was it 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. Nigerian time? I think it was 9 p.m. the news. He gave his speech. I think it was 9. Am I correct? I think it was 9 p.m. The speech was released. I think it was 9 p.m. Am I correct? I think it's 9 p.m. It's 9 p.m. 9 p.m. That was when he gave the speech. So that's the reason for the volatility, the high volatility. You can see massive, massive. So let's see DXY. Let's see. I was shocked when I saw the move on DXY. I was shocked. JPY that was bearish. This is yen basket. Okay, you can see JPY that was strongly bearish all day suddenly turned bullish. It suddenly turned bullish. Can you see that? Suddenly turned bullish. And I think this bullish move was to fill this fair value gap. For those of you who trade on Japanese yen pairs, for those of you who trade Japanese yen pairs, yeah, you can use this, the yen basket. We use the yen basket to define or to determine the trend, the strength of yen. Just as we have DXY, just as we use DXY to determine the strength of the dollar, we make use of yen basket to determine the strength of yen. Are you getting me? So all through the day, yen was bearish, but suddenly, I think after Trump's speech, it turned bullish. You can see. So let's see DXY. DXY was bearish all day, but I think now it is bullish. Let's see yen. Sorry, DXY. DXY. Okay. So you can see DXY. DXY was bearish all day. After Trump's speech, it turned bullish. You can see. You can see all day it was bearish, but after Trump's speech, it turned bullish. You can see it filled. I told you guys, DXY is coming to fill this fair value gap. You can see. So the DXY is coming to fill this fair value gap. They have filled this fair value gap. This fair value gap has been filled. You can see that. You can see that. So let's see currency pairs. Currency pairs. Let's see. Use this lamp to. Okay, let's see what do we have on GBP USD. So what do you guys think? What's your bias on GBP USD? What's your bias on GBP USD? What's your bias on GBP USD? Liquidity residing at this previous high has been cleared. You can see the liquidity residing at this previous high has been cleared. There's that resistance. So what do you think? Should we go bearish on GU? What do you think? What do you think? Mr. Joseph, Mr. Gabriel, what's your take on GU? Is it time to sell? I need your response. I need your response. Mr. Joseph, Mr. Badamosi, Mr. Adebayo, what's your take? Mr. Raphael, what's your take on GU? Is it time to sell? Okay, so let's start with the daily. Please, I want to see your comments. Please respond. What's your bias? What's your bias? So let's start with the daily time frame. Daily closed strongly bullish. Strongly bullish. Bearish. Okay, Mr. Adebayo says bearish. Okay. Mr. Joseph, what's your take? What's your take? Okay. I would only consider selling if the daily candle are closed as a bearish reversal pattern, but it didn't close as a bearish reversal pattern. It closed strongly bullish. So I think GU is still bullish. Let's see what we have on 4 hour. Okay, this is 4 hour. I would only consider selling. Now it has created a fair value gap here. Price might want to pull back to fill this fair value gap. Note, NFP will be released on Friday. NFP will be released on Friday. I wouldn't advise you trade dollar pairs tomorrow. I wouldn't advise. Stay away from dollar pairs unless you are willing to take that risk. Avoid dollar pairs tomorrow. You can see that price has been in a range for some time. Okay, so but if you insist on buying, if you insist on buying, if you insist on buying GBP USD, I would advise you wait for price to pull back to this fair value gap. Wait for price to pull back to this fair value gap before you go bullish on GBP USD. Based on the pattern we have on 4 hour and 1 hour time frame, GBP USD is bearish at the moment. It is bearish at the moment based on 4 hour and 1 hour time frame. Okay, so if your bias for GU is buy, wait for price to pull back to this fair value gap. Found it? Found it? All right. Fair value gap. You can see we have this fair value gap here. And if you apply your Fibonacci from swing low to swing high, okay, you can see swing low, swing high, wait for price to pull back to a discount area before you buy. Can you see that? So that's my take on GU. My bias on GU is still bullish. It is still bullish. It will not be reasonable to execute a buy trade from the current market price, right? Because this is where the bullish move started. After the formation of this hammer, that would have been the right time to buy. You can see after the formation of this hammer, that would have been the right time to execute buy on GU. And I think GU has done over 90 pips today. It has done over 90 pips, if I'm correct. You can see it has done over 100 pips. So you cannot buy from the current market price. The risk could be too high. You have to wait for price to pull back to a discount area before you buy. I hope that is clear. So that's my take on GU. GU is still bullish. GU is still bullish. It is still bullish. The fact that the body of this candle or the close of this candle is below this high, is below the highs of this candle, indicates that the buyers are still in control. Buyers are still in control. For those of you who are considering selling, if you want to risk selling, you must wait for a candle to close below this bullish candle if you want to risk selling. But if we go by the daily, you go by the daily time frame and also the weekly time frame, GU is still bullish. It is still bullish. Like I said, GU might come to fill this fair value gap before it goes bearish. GU is likely going to come and fill this fair value gap before going bearish. If it doesn't fill this fair value gap, there's a high probability it will come and test this support. There's a high probability to come and test this support here, turn resistance before going bearish. That's my take on GU. GU is still bullish at the moment. You can see yesterday candle. Okay, this is weekly. Last week candle closed above the resistance that was created. Can you see this resistance that was created here? Last week candle broke out from that resistance. And you can see last week candle didn't close below the low of the previous week candle. Can you see that? So that tells you that there's more demand. So far this week, I think what they have done, the first thing they did this week was to clear liquidity that was residing at the low of last week. That was the first thing they did this week. They've cleared the liquidity residing at the previous low of last week. So with what we have on the weekly and the daily, GU is still bullish. GU is still bullish. Okay, that's my take on GU. GU is still bullish. Yeah, we'll definitely look at GJ. We'll look at GJ. Since DXY is bullish, GJ will be bearish. That's not true. That's not true. Because DXY is bullish, GJ, you would say maybe GU. You would say GU. Okay. I mean, you mean to say GU, not GJ, right, Mr. Joseph? Okay. You mean to say GU. Okay, so that's my take on GU. My bias on GU is still bullish. It's still bullish. Do we have any fundamentals tomorrow? Any news to be released tomorrow? Tomorrow is third. Let's see. I think there's a major news that will be released tomorrow. Okay, so we have unemployment claims and ISM services PMI that will be released tomorrow. So if you're considering trading USD, JPY, USD pairs, you have to wait for this major news to be released. Okay, you have to wait for this major news to be released before you trade USD pairs. I hope that is clear. So let's look at GJ. Let's look at GJ. GJ. These people should help us beg Trump. Oh. It should allow traders rest. It should allow us trade the market with peace of mind. Someone should please speak with Trump. Please, on behalf of retail traders, please. Should allow us trade the market with peace of mind. See the massive move in less than 1 hour. GJ has done how many pips? Let's even say you cut the move from this point. Over 170 pips in less than an hour. Over 168 pips. Ah, man. This is massive. This move is massive. Okay. So let's see. But I'm still bullish on GJ. I am still very bullish on GJ. I'm still bullish on GJ. I'm still bullish. I'm still bullish on GJ. Okay. I'm still very bullish on GJ. Let's say 4-hour time frame. Okay. I'm still very bullish on GJ. I'm bullish on GJ. Let's see. Let me go back to daily. Okay. Let's see 4-hour. Okay. So a fair value gap was created here. Okay, let's see something. Let's see something. Okay, I think a fair value gap was created here. Probably price is pulled back to fill the fair value gap. Let's just see. Let's confirm. Let's see. Okay. So we have a fair value gap here. Though the market is trading, you can see. Let's see how the current 15 minutes candle will close. You can see this fair value gap. Okay, so this pullback could just be to fill this fair value gap. So if a bullish reversal pattern forms after these gaps, this fair value gap gets filled, then you should be looking for buy. Okay, that's my take on GJ. I am still very bullish on GJ. If a bullish reversal pattern forms after this fair value gap gets filled, that will be a buy for GJ. That will be a buy for GJ. I believe this bearish move is as a result of Trump's speech. This bearish move is as a result of Trump's speech. So, and if it's not to even sell, for those of you who are considering sell, you can't sell from this price. You can't sell. You can't sell. The only reason you want to sell from the current market price will be FOMO. That would be the only reason for you to consider selling from the current market price. You didn't sell from this point. Why would you want to sell at the current market price when the market has moved in your direction over 190 pips? So it will not make sense. The price needs to pull back. There has to be a retracement. So if you are considering selling, if you are bearish you can see it has created a fair value gap here. So if you are considering selling, you have to wait for price to pull back to a premium area. Okay, we have fair value gap here. We also have a fair value gap here. So if you are considering selling, you should wait for price to test these areas, these zones. These are the areas you can consider selling. So, like I said, my bias still remains bullish on GJ. If a bullish reversal pattern forms after this gap gets filled, then I will go bullish, but not tonight to be in London session. I'll look for my buy setup in London session, not in Asian session. Okay. So my bias on GJ is still bullish, bullish, still bullish, still bullish. Yeah. Let's look at gold. Gold. Please, if you have any question, just drop it in the comment section. If there's any pair you want us to look at together, drop it in the comment section. Time frame on which pair? On which pair? Time frame on which pair? Let me know. Time frame on which pair? So gold, you can see gold has been in a range since yesterday. Gold has been in a range. I think gold is going to come break this high. Gold is coming to break this high. You can see it's currently, I think it's currently trading above this resistance, I think. Can you see that? It's currently trading above that resistance. Today, it's tested this support. See, what they did today was to clear the sell side liquidity. They've cleared sell side liquidity and also they've cleared buy side liquidity. So if the current 4-hour candle, it has closed, okay, it has closed. It closed above this resistance. This tells me that gold is bullish. Gold is bullish. Okay, gold is bullish. Let's see what we have on 1 hour. So you can see what we have on 1 hour. Market close above this resistance. Okay, so also you can see we had a fair value gap here. Could it be that this buy was to fill this fair value gap? You see, we had a fair value gap here. Could it be that the buy was to fill this fair value gap? Now this fair value gap has been filled. So should we go bearish on gold? No, I wouldn't go bearish because if we go by the weekly time frame and also the daily time frame, you can see that gold is still bullish. So it will be wrong for us to look for sells on gold since the higher time frame indicates that the trend is still bullish on gold. It will be very wrong for one to consider selling. Okay, so it's still very bullish. So if I want to buy gold, I would wait for price to break out from this fair value gap. I'll wait for price to break out from this fair value gap before buying gold, or price, let's see if a fair value gap was created on, let's see, 15 minutes. If it creates a fair value gap, let's see 5 minutes. Okay. No fair value gap on 5 minutes time frame, no fair value gap. Okay, there was a breakout from this resistance. Price had come back to test this broken resistance on support. Can you see that? So this is a buy. This is a buy setup. This is a buy setup. On 15 minutes, on 5 minutes, it's a buy. It's a buy setup. Okay. Well, you might want to wait for price to retrace. Please wait for price to retrace before you join the trend. I hope that is clear. That's my take on gold. Gold is still bullish. Technically, it is bullish. If there's any other pair I want us to look at, please let me know in the comment section. Is there any other pair you're considering trading tomorrow? Let me know in the comment section. So let's see Euro Australian dollar. Euro Australian dollar. I almost took a trade on Euro Aussie few minutes ago. I almost took a sell trade on Euro Australian dollar, but I reminded myself that I don't trade Asian session. That's the reason I didn't take the trade. I had to remind myself that I don't trade the Asian session. So I would wait for the sell in New York session. Okay, so if we apply Fibonacci from the swing high to this swing low, you can see that Euro Australian dollar is at a premium area. And if you go to lower time frame, let's go to 1 hour. Let's see the pattern we have on 1 hour. The fair value gap has been filled. So you can see on 1 hour time frame, I thought I identified the fair value gap on 1 hour time frame. Let's see 15 minutes. There's a fair value gap. Let's see. So on 15 minutes time frame, you can see okay, we still have a fair value gap here on 15 minutes time frame that has not been filled. Can you see this? Let's go back to 4 hour. I think there's a fair value gap on one of these time frames. Let's see. Okay, we had a fair value gap here on 4 hour. This fair value gap has been filled. It has been filled. So you can see price is currently at a premium area. So what I'm looking out for is a bearish reversal pattern. Okay, the bearish reversal pattern to form on 1 hour or let's say 15 minutes time frame. Okay, so I'll be looking for sell opportunity tomorrow on Euro Aussie. Okay. So I said on GJ, if the fair value gap has been filled in GJ, fair value gap, you can see this is the fair value gap on, I identified this fair value gap on 15 minutes, but on 5 minutes, this is an opportunity to buy. You can see we had another fair value gap here, 5 minutes. That fair value gap has been filled. Look at the pattern that formed. It's a bullish reversal pattern, you can see. So one can actually take a risk buying GJ. Just that I don't like trading the Asian session. This is a buy setup. This is an inverted hammer. Okay, you could patiently wait if you want to take the risk. You could patiently wait for price to break the high of this candle. Patiently wait for 1 hour candle to close above the high of this candle before you buy. Okay. Wait for 1 hour candle to close above the high of this bearish candle before you buy. Okay. 1 hour and 15 minutes to close above the high of that candle before you go bullish. And if you are buying your stop, your TP, you could use the highs of this candle as your TP. Okay, so that's my take. So you could go for, let's say, 100 pips. Your stop loss, you could just use 40 pips. Your stop loss should just be 40 pips. Okay, so that's my take on GJ. I hope that is clear. That's my take on GJ. I hope that is clear, Mr. Joseph. I hope that is clear, Mr. Joseph. Any question? Any question? Any question? Is there any other instrument you want us to look at? There's the JPY. Mm. Okay. fair value gap was created here on daily time frame USD JPY. So let's go down to 4 hour. 4 hour, let's go down to 1 hour. Let's see. Okay. The fair value gap that was created here has been filled already. Right? This fair value gap that was created here, it has been filled. USD JPY is still bullish. It is still bullish. Okay. It is still bullish. My buyers on USD JPY is still bullish. But before you buy USD JPY, wait for price to close above this fair value gap. Okay. Wait for price to close above this fair value gap before you go bullish. I hope that is clear. My buyer still remains bullish on USD JPY. Do you have any question? Do you have any question? Drop it in the comment section. If you have any question, please drop it in the comment section. If there's any instrument you want us to look at together, drop it in the comment section. Okay. Euro Aussie, Euro Aussie. My high is on display. Okay. Any question? Do you have any question? Australian dollar USD. Okay, you can see, I think we have a fair value gap here. Let me see. You can see the pullback would just be to fill this fair value gap. Can you see this fair value gap that was created on Australian dollar USD? That could be the reason for this retracement. That could be the reason for that retracement, and that gap has been filled. The gap has been filled. So you look out for a bullish reversal pattern to form before you buy Australian dollar USD. I think if we apply our Fibonacci from the swing low to the swing high, price is also at a discount area. You can see that price is at discount below 61.8, and we have a fair value gap at a discount area. Okay, so look for buy on Australian dollar USD. Okay, look for buys on Australian dollar USD. You cannot sell. For those of you who are considering selling, you cannot sell from the current market price. If you're considering selling, you still have to wait for price to pull back. There has to be a retracement to premium area before you consider selling. But at the moment, I think the best setup to look out for is a buy. Okay, it should be a buy. Price is at discount. And also, price just filled a fair value gap, as you can see. Okay, so that's my take on Australian dollar USD. Buy. Technically, it is bullish. Here's the card, still bearish. Here's the card, is still bearish. I expected this move. You joined on the class we had yesterday. I told you it is likely going to come and fill this fair value gap or test this support stone resistance. Support stone resistance. And for those of you who trade ICT concepts, there's what we call consequent enroachment. Consequent encroachment. Okay, when the fair value gap is large, sometimes the price will not fill the fair value gap entirely. It could just fill 50% of that fair value gap. You can see the fair value gap that was created there is a very the gap is a very big one, huge gap. The gap is a very huge one. So most times when you have this kind of gap, price will not fill the fair value gap completely. It will just fill, let's say, 50%. If you apply your Fibonacci from the swing high of this candle, you can see, I think price did, you can see. Can you see that? So it actually just filled 50% of the fair value gap, which is the consequent encroachment before going bearish. Can you see that? So with this strong engulfing candle, we should expect more sales. We should expect more sales, but before selling, we should expect price retracement before we sell. We don't want to sell from the current market price because it has gone in our direction over 90 pips. At least before we take a sell, we want to see price pull back. It should be a retracement before joining the sell. Okay, so at least if you're considering selling, you should wait for price to pull back to test this broken support zone resistance. Okay, you should wait for price to pull back, at least test this support zone resistance. Okay, so that's my take on USD CAD. It is strongly bearish. It's strongly bearish. Okay, strongly bearish. Okay, it's still bearish, but wait for price to retrace before you sell. Don't sell from the current market price. The risk is too high. The risk is too high. Here's the CHF. Bearish also. Here's the CHF is bearish. Here's the CHF is bearish. You can see what's playing out on the weekly time frame. I think this week what they did, they've tested this resistance and there's a strong rejection from that resistance level. Can you see that there was a resistance here last week? Can you see this resistance this week? What happened? Price tested that resistance and there's a strong rejection from that resistance level. Let's go down to daily. So you can see. So they are most likely this will be their next target. This low, this relative equal low will be the next target for USD CAD. They know a lot of retail traders would have executed buy and their stop losses will be residing at this low. That's what they are going for. They are going for the stop losses residing at this low. So that will be the next target for USD CHF. That will be the next target. Let's see what we have on daily. So on daily also you can see they've done everything possible to break out from this resistance. Can you see? The market has been struggling to break out from this resistance. You can see. So on Monday, no, this was Monday candle, Tuesday spinning top, yesterday candle closed bearish, and it closed below the low of this spinning top. That indicates high supply. It indicates that supply is higher than demand. You can see yesterday candle closed below the low of I think Tuesday candle. Yeah, Tuesday candle. So let's see what we have on 4 hour. So you can see what we have on the 4 hour. So this is a bearish pattern. Though it has been in a range for some time. Yes, the HF has been in a range for some time, but I'm sure it's going to come break out from these lows. It's coming for these lows. Okay, as you can see, we had a fair value gap here that has not been filled. So there's a high probability would come fill this fair value gap and clear the liquidity residing at this previous low. That's my expectation on USD CHF. I hope that is clear, Mr. Mayor. That's my take on USD CHF is bearish. Look for sells on USD CHF. Look for sells. Look for sells. I hope that is clear, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, Mr. Wale. Any other question? Is there any other instrument you want us to look at? Please let me know in the comment section. Any question? Any question? Any question? Any question? It means USD, Euro, or C is likely going to come and fill this fair value gap. I'll wait for that. Okay, it's likely going to come fill this fair value gap. Okay, I think that's where it's aiming for. I think it's aiming for this fair value gap. I think so. All I'm looking out for is a bearish reversal pattern to form on 4-hour, 1-hour time frame. Okay, that's all I'm waiting for. A bearish reversal pattern to form on 4-hour or 1-hour time frame. That's when I will go bearish on Euro, Australian dollar. I think Australian dollar will be bearish now because Euro, Australian dollar is bullish. Australian dollar, USD will be bearish. Do you have any question? Is there any other instrument you want us to look at? Let me know in the comment section. So my bias for GU, AU, EU, NU is bullish. USD CAD, USD CHF, Euro Aussie bearish. GJ bullish. Euro JPY bullish. I made 80 pips on Euro JPY buy today. 80 pips on Euro JPY. And the chart is messy. It's messy. Okay, so if there are no questions, I would have to end the session. Any question? So our next session would be I'm available tomorrow morning. I'll come on live during London session. If I'm not available, then we'll meet in New York session. Since we have a major news that will be released tomorrow, so if I'm not available for London session, I'll be available New York session by 1 p.m. By 1 p.m. Okay. All right, guys. I want to appreciate you all for your participation. Okay. I look forward to having you guys in tomorrow's session. Good night.